I'm with the state attorney's office, like I said, and I have a proffer agreement that says we won't seek the death penalty with me today. So if you want to take a second and read it, it basically, you know, I can't give you any legal advice because I represent the state, but
I understand that.
but I can tell you that participation in this proffer doesn't guarantee that we won't prosecute, but it does guarantee that the state of Florida will not file a notice of intent to seek death penalty in any proceeding.
Well, that's fine.
So
I'll sign it. I don't have to read it. Like I try to explain to other killers that are regional are arrested, and I write to them, I tell them how the system works. I said the system is, when you're dealing with serial crimes, there's a difference than with a single murder. That you're opening yourself up for litigation all the way across the board, and you don't have no say in the matter. It just continues and continues and continues. So I always try to tell people to own it. Just admit you're caught. The only way you're caught, if you're arrested, means that the prosecutor has enough evidence to take you to court and prove you guilty. They wouldn't have arrested him if they didn't, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I've recently got a letter from Rex Hewerman from the Long Island serial killer, and I had told him the same thing, and he wrote me back, said, well, you know, take it under advisement. So when I picked her up, she was headed to Lake Tahoe, Nevada.
Yeah, do you know, did she have ties there? Did she say anything about that?
All I know is that's what she said she was headed, and I told her, I said, I'm not going to Nevada. However, I don't even know where I'm headed. I've got to pick up a load, and I don't even know what load I'm going to pick up. But when I do, I'm headed to Washington State. So I'll be in the area. I could take you so far. And she was outstanding out there at the truck stop. And I parked in her next to the restaurant, and I just walked out to her, and I said, where you headed? And she said, I said, oh, well, I pointed to my truck, and I said, well, there I am. I may be going to Washington State because I'm out of Washington State, and I head that way. I don't know where exactly I'm headed, but probably in an hour. In an hour or so, I'll probably be headed that way. So I just walked off, left, and I went in the truck stop and waited for my boss to give me a load going somewhere. And then within, well, probably an hour, a little after that, she got impatient, walked into the truck stop where I was sitting and said, I thought we were going to be leaving in an hour. And I thought, excuse me? Have an iced tea, sit down and relax. This is trucking, we have to wait. And finally I got a load going to Cairo, Georgia. I had to pick up a load of conduit. And I had a two-dropper, one in Boise and one in Spokane. And I said, well, I got to get going. And so I packed up her stuff in there, and it had a bunch of blue Samsonite-like luggage.
Okay.
A bunch of it with a luggage tote that she dragged behind her. And I put that in. The moment she sat in the truck, she looked at all the room in the truck and said, hey, can we go back to Miami so I can pick up the rest of my stuff? And I said, no, I've got to get to Cairo before midnight Eastern time to get this load on. So we got to head north. So we headed up, and we got up to Unical 76 truck stop about 80 miles north. And I fueled up there, went in, and I got a shower for her and myself. We didn't shower the same shower. We showered separately. I told her, meet me in the restaurant, and we'll have something to eat before we head north. And so she sits down, and she ordered all-you-can-eat spaghetti, and she was on her second plate. And she wanted, you know, and she tried to offer me some of her spaghetti. I said, no, get the hell out of here, let's go north. And she sat over here. I was driving, so I didn't see much of her. We got up to Cairo. I backed in, got loaded, and I went looking for her. I didn't know where the hell she took off to. So I went into the driver's lounge, and she looked like she was on the phone.
Okay.
Or, you know, like on a payphone. And I mentioned Suzanne, or whatever her name is. I said something. The moment I mentioned, she let out a blood-curdling scream, like she just caught her right, just panicked. And shut up, man. You know, we need to get going, right? So she gets in the truck. We take off. Now I backtrack about, I don't know, 20 miles maybe, and drop down into Florida.
Okay.
So I can get on Interstate 10.
Yes, sir.
And we're heading west on Interstate 10, and at exit 18 is the rest area. and you pull down off the exit, you go underneath the overpass, and you come to a frontage road. You go past some convenience stores, and the rest here is back in here. And I parked in right behind the security. Florida always has security trucks with people in there, so they watch over for panhandling and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
They really monitor it very. I parked right behind the security guy, and I sat up, and once I got stopped, I sat on the edge of the bed, and I wanted to know whether she wanted to use the restroom, because that's what I was going to do, and then she started screaming. She just sat up and started screaming, and I was like,
For
shut
no
up.
reason?
The more I told her to shut up, the more she screamed.
Okay.
And I don't need that because I wasn't supposed to have people in my truck anyway, so none unauthorized and all that, so I just killed her.
Okay.
You gotta consider after murdering too many people, that it was just an easy thing to do. And I was fearful because she ate all that spaghetti and stuff that she would, when I moved her, that maybe it'd come up, I wasn't quite sure, but I took 2 plastic ties that I had and I put around her neck and secured, figured that when I moved her that nothing would come out. That's why I did that. And then I had to get out and ask the security guy to move so I could get out of the rest area. When she moved out of the way, he was driving a red small pickup with a canopy on it.
Okay.
And I moved out of the way, I pulled on out, I went down to exit 11, and it's a university exit, I believe. I think that was on one of the signs.
Okay.
I pulled down and crossed the road and came up on the other side and pulled up as far as the wide shoulder was, parked, and I walked over to, which would be the north side, walked to the north, and there's a tree row there, and then on the other side of the tree row was a fence. And I knew, so I figured I'd put her in the tree row. I carried over and put her in the tree row, and I left. And that's